Today we're going to talk about how to get a super stubborn ex back. And if you stick around until the very end of this video, I'm going to let you in on 4 of my secret methods for doing just that. But first, let me give you a quick primer so that you really understand what you're trying to do here. By definition, someone who's stubborn is someone who's very attached to their ideas or beliefs or tastes. And what you're trying to do is institute change. One of the most difficult things to do, especially for someone who is ironclad set on their beliefs and tastes. So how do we do that? Well, it's not going to be easy, which is why I'm making this video for you. But here's the thing I really want you to understand before we dive into this. What matters isn't so much the factors that you have no control over, but what matters is focusing on the factors you have control over. I know it sounds cliche, but by doing this, you're going to allow yourself a better frame of mind as you go through this process. So let's get to the 4 secrets for making a stubborn ex change their mind and come back to you. Secret number 1, understand that it needs to be their decision. As I've already stated, someone who is very stubborn is going to be someone who's very stuck on their ideas, beliefs, and tastes. In other words, it's not going to be easy to change their mind about their decisions. So what you really need to start off by doing is figuring out how you can make it their idea to change their decision. And there's multiple different ways that we can do this. Many of the ways are the secrets I'm going to let you in on. But first, understanding that it's not about you forcing them to change their mind. It's about you influencing them enough to change their mind. But how? How can you do that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Secret number 2, tap into the fear of missing out syndrome. I've always been struck by the irony of the deathbed argument. We've all seen those articles or YouTube videos that go viral talking about people's biggest regrets later in their lives. But oftentimes, the irony is, even though many of these people understand throughout their lives that they're going to have regrets on their deathbed, they do nothing to change it. Maybe the biggest regrets are something like not spending enough time with their family, and yet they continue to work, knowing full well that it's not what they want to do. They don't spend any time with their family because they're busy working maybe for their family. Another huge regret is love. They are too afraid to tell someone that they've had a crush on how they really feel. So fear gets the best of them and they don't do anything about it. Now, the only way to potentially get these people to change is to make them realize or have a paradigm shift that they're going to miss out on some of the most important events of their lives. Look, you only get one life. It's not like a video game where you can have constant do-overs if there's a game over. You can just simply start over and try again. Life doesn't work that way. So our most valuable commodity is time. And really what people should be doing, but aren't, is looking at their time and using it in a way that's fulfilling for all of the aspects of their life that they want to experience. Now, most people don't because they've been hardwired to do things a certain way. They're doing the status quo of what society thinks they should do. It's only until someone comes around and inspires them and shows them what they are potentially missing out on that they start to change their mindset. They start to have the paradigm shift. That's what you need to do for your ex. You need to show him or her what they're going to miss out on by not being with you. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this, but I'm not going to get into those right now because I think there's something a little bit more important to get into next with secret number 3. Hey, I wanted to take a very quick break to let you in on the fact that we actually have a special quiz designed to teach you what kind of chance you have of getting your stubborn ex back. All you have to do if you want to take the quiz is simply hop over to my website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and you'll see that there's a quiz there. The other simple way you can do that is to simply look in the description link below this YouTube video, click on it, and it will take you directly to the quiz that will teach you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. All right, let's get back to the video. Secret number 3, you really need to be able to walk away. One of my favorite quotes is, the person who's willing to walk away is often the person who wins at dating. It sounds kind of elementary and weird, but I have found it to be true time and time again. Now, you're sitting there and thinking, okay, if all I need to do is show that I'm willing to walk away, that's easy, right? It's not, because it's not just enough to show your ex that you're willing to walk away. You actually need to believe it and feel it and be willing to lose. Now, for many of my clients, that is the most terrifying thing in the world. They want their exes back so much that they built up this impossible mountain to climb. They've kind of put an all or nothing type of name tag on it. If they don't get their ex back, it's a failure to them. But the people who seem to succeed, when I look at all of the patterns among the thousands of people who I've worked one-on-one with, who have gotten their exes back in the past 7 or 8 years that I've been doing this, the one common pattern I see is it's the people who get pushed to the brink, who are really willing to walk away and are almost at a point where they say, I give up, I don't care about them anymore. That they start to see real results. They start to see their ex texting them more, wanting to talk a little bit more emotionally, asking them out, asking them for dates, you name it, I've seen it happen. Now, I don't quite understand why there's a correlation there, but I do know it exists. You really need to feel that you're willing to walk away and be okay. If you're not, it's not good enough. Maybe it does have something to do with secret number 2, the fear of missing out. If your ex feels like you're trying to play games on them, if you're trying to do things for their benefit, it's not as effective as if they really feel that you're willing to walk away, because that's when they fear that they're missing out on something amazing. Now, let's talk about that impossible mountain that you've put your ex on, the all or nothing. Secret number 4, stop putting your ex on a pedestal. For women who are trying to get their ex-boyfriends back, they have this sense of all or nothing. If they don't get their ex back, it is the end of the world. They've put their ex on such a pedestal that it almost makes him feel godlike. Now, this is kind of odd to me, because currently there are over 3.8 billion men in the world. Just looking at it as a purely numbers game, your ex is not even a speck in an ocean, not even a grain of sand. He's beneath that. The thing I'm trying to get at here is if you put your ex on a pedestal, you lose any leverage that you need to build to get them back, especially when it comes to a stubborn ex. I'll give you a more direct example. Let's say that you have tried to get your ex back. He's extremely stubborn about the fact that he doesn't want to get back together. You've done everything you could possibly think of to change his mind, and nothing has worked. By doing all of those things, you are glorifying your ex. You're making him feel godlike. You're making him feel like he's better than you. What successful people do when they want to change someone's mind is they need to enter a negotiation on equal terms. This is a problem if your ex is already entering the negotiation knowing that they are better than you. Maybe in your mind you feel like you are equal, but if you've done things to glorify your ex and make him feel like he is a god, he isn't going to feel equal. And when you have 2 unequal parties coming to negotiate over terms, which in this case you're negotiating over re-entering a relationship, the one with the most leverage will almost always win and get their way. So stop putting your ex on a pedestal. He doesn't deserve to be up there. Understand that you need to be equals when you go into this. You don't need to be rude about it. Not putting your ex on a pedestal doesn't mean you call him up and tell him how much of a jerk he is, even though he may deserve it. It's more subtle than that. It's by using actions to show him that he's not as important as he thinks he is. Hey Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. All you have to do if you want to take the quiz is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video. Click on that link and it will take you directly to the quiz where you can answer all sorts of questions about you and your ex and your relationship together, and it will spit out a score that will tell you kind of where you stand on getting them back. Thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I'll see you guys next time.